containers. I said, what'd you do with that? He goes, I don't know, just mix it with some lemon pepper seasoning. So, of course, us being the deaf chefs, we went like, well, screw that. We're going to load it up with pepper and stuff. So it's lemon pepper seasoning, ground thyme, and then an exotic blend of several different peppers. And then there's a secret ingredient that I can't tell you or I'd have to kill you. That's in it. I know it. And that's how you make it. She's looking now at our cast of characters. Shafa 13, are you here to just spectate, or are you here to share cooking knowledge with us?
Oh man, King Dude, I love Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm a big man, so I love food. I love my turkey, but I gotta ask first question: dark meat or white meat for you guys?
Dark
meat.
White meat all day long. The people that say they don't like white meat don't know how to cook meat. Nope.
I'll eat either one. I don't care.
I like a good old piece of breast meat. The juice
now, because the turkey is, as I said, they kind of come genetically modified these days. That breast, now, this is where the brining comes in. If you don't brine it, you are you are sawing literally into a pile of glued together sawdust. There is simply no way to keep that thing from drying out. You can't get it to 165 degrees on the bone, which is what you care about. So, you cook to 160. You don't ever cook to 165. You're getting all these free tips of you people watching this after the fact or tonight on YouTube or listening to it on the Crusade channel.
I have a trick. I have a trick.
What's that? What is it? Jacqueline!
I take the breast off of the hips so I can take the breast out of the oven when it's ready and leave the dark meat in there to heat up to 185.
So now you're in Cajun country land, because now you need a long fillet knife, and that's basically how they it's basically the same process you would use to do a turducken. You get in with that fillet knife and you follow the rib cage, right? You follow it, and you're cutting it off the rib cage, and then when you've done that, then you're cutting the seams behind the wings and the leg. Right there, and then you're just lifting that breast. Actually, it just falls over.
I just take the breast and I take the hips and I basically snap them apart.
Okay.
And that way the breast is still one whole round thing. I could stuff it if I wanted to.
Interesting. I've never tried this method.
And I actually put them all back together again when I'm cooking it, so it looks like a whole bird, but then I can just remove the breast when it's done and leave the rest to continue cooking.
We'll have to you're going to give us a video demonstration on this one. So you said you take it off.
I don't know if I'm doing things.
You said you take it off and you cook it separately. How do you put it back together? Is this like you sew it? Is this Frankenstein? You got a needle and thread?
No, you literally just take the hips and the breast and you just snap them off, and then you can put them back together again while you're cooking them.
You're talking like
it's two pieces. It's two pieces.
You leaving the skin on?
And it just sits there. Gravity just holds it together while it's cooking, right?
Well, no, you put them in the roasting pan in such a way that they kind of stay back. They kind of fit back together again.
I didn't know that turkeys had hips.
Well, it's the thighs. The thighs and the hip. That whole section. You just basically snap it off.
Or something like that.
Such a dweller.
Thigh. Okay, leg, thigh, wing.
City dweller.
Where's there a hip?
Dweller.
It's not a hip. She's saying hip like there's a hip bone's connected to the breastbone. I've seen a turkey skeleton before, and I have never seen a hip replacement surgery for a turkey.
They have hips. They do have hips. They have a pelvis.
Okay, I'm probably just thinking of a different part of the anatomy. I'm telling you what you're describing though. I've seen Emeril Lagasse do it on several times on one of his Thanksgiving shows. He did it the way I described it. he used a fillet knife and he went from the inside. He cut it off the rib cage, and then after he kind of had it separated from the rib cage, he then took his fillet knife. And then, you know, if you're looking at the turkey like this, legs are facing you. The point of the legs with the little chef hat on it is facing you. Where the leg meets the body, you cut that skin. And then where the wing meets the body, you got to find the knuckle. You cut that, and then the breast just flops over. You can just flop it over. And that's what he did, and he flopped it over. And then he took it, he stuffed it. He took it and he stuffed it. And then he rolled it together and he tied it up with string. And then basically he baked that. And then when the whole thing was done, he served the whole thing and he baked the leg and the thigh separately.
I think you watched too much TV.
I think that this was like 15 years ago. And that when I saw him do that I actually did it one Thanksgiving. And it kind of works. If you've ever like tried to do a turducken, that's how do you think you get a duck inside of a turkey? And then how do you get the chicken inside of the duck? You got to cut rib cages out. Otherwise, you've got a Three Stooges turducken, and you got bones and oyster shells and every other thing else in it.
So what exactly is the purpose of taking the breast off the bird? Is that for the people who can't cook a turkey so that the breast don't dry out?
No, you're supposed to cook the breast to 165, and then you're supposed to cook the dark meat to 185 or more in order for the collagen to break down.
Yeah, it makes it more tender.
I've made a lot of turkeys in my life, and I've never separated them, and I've never had them.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Texas X Bourbon.
You're going to need more than that for the rest
This
of
is
it.
driving me to drink. Okay, that's interesting. You know, I having won competitions for where you had to cook a half chicken, it's the most challenging thing because you got a breast that you know is going to get dry, but you got a leg, you got a thigh and a leg that you know that you can't have blood on that bone or you're going to get DQ'd by a judge. So you got to get that bone up to 165 or more. At the same time, you don't want to fry. You don't want to try. It's very difficult to do. So what she's saying about cooking the white and the dark separately is true. But I don't know. Like Joe Beeman is saying, okay, you have to do a method where you cook the whole bird, and and you get the breast meat to 165 and then your dark meat to 185. I don't know how you do that.
So,
Well, you could cover it with aluminum. Oh no.
No,
Can't do that.
don't
like to use
stop!
galvanized.
The Khazarians are now going to come out of the woodwork. Now we're going to have now we're going to have Red Sea pedestrians patrolling the Thanksgiving dinner. No aluminum.
So here's the thing, Mike.
Is it aluminium?
If you spatchcock that bird, right, and break the spine down and flatten it out,
Yes.
you will get an even heat between the dark meat and the white meat. That's what I do. I don't leave it whole as a big round bird.
Okay.
We stuff. I spatchcock.
Well, that's what I
that
do.
Spine right out, and then you crack it down. And when I pull my bird off, I'm almost getting the exact same temperatures in the breast that I am back in the dark meat by doing that.
Wait a minute. Resnick just said 185 on the dark and 160 on the breast. So what temperature are you getting across?
So I get that, but all right. So it's all about how you put the bird in the smoker. I put the dark meat towards the warmer area, and then when my breast hits, I probe my breast with I have a Bluetooth electronic probe, a meat cube. I probe my breast, and I probe my dark meat. When my breast that is facing out towards the egg, towards the outer side, hits 165, my dark meat is at 185. So they arrive at the same temperature, or at the same, where I pulled 1 degree off, so 5 degrees off. 160 is the front and 180 is the back. I pull it off, and they will be equally done and equally juicy, and there will be no blood on the bones.
All right, we need new ideas for the sides. Like we need stovetop stuffing, literally stovetop stuffing.
No, we need Schaefer sweet potato chipotle sweet potatoes.
You want
that
my
sounded
sweet potato.
delicious.
You need my sweet
You guys
potato.
haven't tried that
casserole.
yet. I recommend
I
it.
have just the thing for stovetop stuffing.
about your favorite meal? Yeah, come on. Okay. First, Mom cooks terrific chicken. And then, instead of potatoes, she makes stovetop stuffing. Boy, that stovetop sure smells good. The celery, the onions, those itty-bitty herbs and spices. Chicken and stovetop stuffing. Stovetop! You've got stovetop! No. Stovetop stuffing!
It's hard to believe that the stovetop stuffing was actually that popular back in the day, but apparently it was. All right, Schaefer, you were saying that you love to eat and you love the Thanksgiving meal. You got to give me, okay, I gave the oyster dressing at the start. I started with a side. Give us a side.
Is the Chipotle sweet mashed potatoes. They are absolutely amazing. We make them every year for Thanksgiving. I just shared the recipe in the chat room. There's not a whole lot to it, which is a great thing. You got your potatoes, your whole milk, heavy cream, chipotle and adobo, bit of maple syrup, butter, salt and pepper, and you're good to go. And they are fantastic.
So for the chipotle, are you using actual peppers or a paste? What are you using?
You get like the little cans of chipotle and adobo.
Yep.
Usually use that. Just go from there. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
So you know what a chipotle pepper actually is?
I do.
It's just a jalapeno, right?
No, it's not a jalapeno. No, it's a poblano. It's a roasted poblano.
Is it poblano? Yeah.
But it's got a great flavor to
The
it.
same family, generally.
Yes, definitely. Same family for sure. All right, we're going to take
It's delicious. I love cooking with poblano, so.
Okay, yeah, poblanos are great. Very underrated pepper, very underused. All right, quick time out. When we come back, we'll have some more classic TV commercials, and we'll do. Maggie is going to regale us with the details of her world famous, and you have to have this pumpkin soup with the fruit chutney on top here on the Throwdown.
Take me a look inside. I saw so much food, there was water coming from my eye. Yeah, there was ham and there was turkey, there was caviar, and long tall glasses with wine up to yar. And then somebody grabbed me, threw me out of my chair. Said before you can eat, you gotta dance like Fred Astaire. You know I can dance, you know I can dance. You know I can dance, you know I can dance. I can dance. I am a man of the road, a hobo by name. I don't seek entertainment, just poultry and game. But if it's all the same to you, then yes, I will try my hand. If you were as hungry as me, then I sure you will understand. Now wait a minute. Of course I can dance, of course I can dance. I'm sure I can dance, I'm sure I can dance. I can dance. I can dance. I really hit the floor. Oh, it feels good. Look at me dancing. I did a two-step, quick-step, and a bossa nova, a little Victor Sylvester and a Rudy Valentino. You should have seen
Somebody needs to speak to the programming department because the commercial break that was supposed to air did not, but you heard Leo say her, so no pain, no gain. Here on the Thursday Night Throwdown Thanksgiving Extravaganza edition, Thanksgiving Tasties. So I actually did have this may be the winner of all time of all the classic stuff that I was able to find. And there is like YouTube playlists. There's literally hundreds of old TV commercials. But for a Thanksgiving one, I thought this was the most unexpected.
Yes, yes, yes. We are coming your way. Compliments to Falstaff Beer. Tomorrow, see the Chicago Bears and the Packers at Green Bay. And don't forget the traditional Thanksgiving Day game at Detroit. The Lions against San Francisco. Both games right here on KMOX TV. Enjoy it all with the beer that has been a tradition at Thanksgiving for over 4 generations.
Now, you got to see this.
If you're expecting a crowd, serve Falstaff Golden Tap Draft Beer in quart bottles with the twist-off cap. Most convenient. And the beer inside, the most drinkable draft ever brewed.
Can you believe they did this
Taste
on
enough to
KMOX
satisfy,
live television?
And yet it's always
Dude,
light
you're
enough for more. Get Falstaff Golden Tap Draft Beer in quarts or pints and enjoy 3 coast-to-coast traditions next Thursday. The Thanksgiving holiday, the football game, and Falstaff, the choicest product of the brewer's art.
Now, you have to put yourself, you couldn't see the commercial. You have to, let me try and describe it to you. So the dude is a white guy, and he is basically selling 40s.
For white people.
He's basically selling 40s for white people as a Thanksgiving treat. I saw the commercial and I went, okay, I'm playing it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play it on the radio show tomorrow. I might just put it in a rotation. Dude's going like, and it comes in a convenient 40-ounce. And I'm going like, it's a 40, dude. It comes in a convenient quart container. It's not a quart, that's a 40. And then, and with a convenient snap-off or screw tap. And I'm just watching this and going like, first of all, is Falstaff even made anymore? Can you even get a Falstaff beer? You know, that's my first question. The second question is, where would you get it at? And he said it was the greatest tasting golden draft he'd ever had. Well, I've had some really good golden drafts, and I'd like to be the judge of that. So funny. Welcome to the program here. Okay, so people are asking for Brussels sprouts now. Maggie, we don't make Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving, but we do make them. We do make them. Okay, so here is a side dish tradition. Schaefer, you asked for a side dish. Maggie makes a pumpkin, and that's night pumpkin spice latte. It's not that. It's actually a pumpkin. Is it pumpkin soup altogether, or is it pumpkin and eggplant or something?
No. It's pumpkin, and I use heavy cream and, goodness, deliciousness.
Okay, but you have to tell people.
Onions, garlic, yeah.
Okay, what makes the soup though is the garnish, the chutney.
It's the chutney.
How do you make the chutney?
Well, it's craisins, and it's green apples, and it's purple onions, and I'm not going to tell you everything else because it's, my secret.
And there's a little spice that goes in that.
It's chili powder, and that's it. That's all I'm giving.
And then you take that and you chop that up, right?
And a little bit of honey.
A little bit of honey and a little bit of wine for the thing, a little chutney, a little bit of wine for me. You know that drill. And then you get it, you chill it, and then you serve it. You serve the soup, and then you serve the chutney. You just spoon on it. You don't want it to sink down into it. You want it to sit on top.
No, it's heavy, so it sits on top.
It sits on top.
Anyway, yeah.
So if you made the soup correctly with the right consistency, then the chutney is going to sit on top. If the chutney goes, bloop, 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 bloop,
then you did it wrong.
Then you get the
It's my grandma's favorite dish I make every Thanksgiving.
Maggie's mom also makes homemade cream cheese, real cream cheese, Eddie. Yeah, nothing but the best. Real cream cheese sopapillas. I mean, complete with a cinnamon, brown sugar little topping on them. And you almost have to guard the dish when you get there, because Maggie's brother-in-law can eat the whole damn thing himself. So you get there, you have to go like you squirrel a few away. All right, shot for 13. So the chipotle sweet potatoes, do you chop them up, or do you? It looked like in the picture you had them mashed.
Yeah, completely mashed. Yep.
So do you mash before the chipotle, or you mash after the chipotle?
Oh man, you're gonna have to make me read the recipe here.
Okay, so
I believe you're gonna mash them. You're gonna mash them before you put the chipotle in.
Okay, all right.
You're gonna kind of all combine it at once after it's all mashed up, soft.
And the recipe's in the chat room.
Yes, sir.
Man, I love sweet potatoes. You had me at yams, but the idea of adding a little roasted poblano, which is what a chipotle pepper basically is that sounds like really good. All right, Scott Resnick, you have been quiet all night. You've been nodding your head and patting your belly like.
I'm not even sure my mic's working.
It's working.
All right, sweet.
You have your cheerleading section in the background. I see them.
My favorite side is actually stuffing or dressing or whatever we call it, without starting a civil war. But I don't know the recipe. My mom's is my favorite, but she doesn't know the recipe either. She just gets it right some years and gets it wrong other years. But there's drinking every year, so that's what matters. I think what it is she actually keeps all the bread that she doesn't use. It goes stale, and then when she gets ready for Thanksgiving, she puts it all out on baking sheets, covers it in butter and seasoning, and then bakes it or roasts it, and then mixes in all the other wet ingredients like eggs, sausage, and celery and all that. And then it turns out actually a pretty good, dressing. Ground beef too.
I was going to say, okay, if you didn't see the Oyster Dressing recipe from my papa, which he passed down to my grandma, and I called my grandmother up, I'll never forget, Thanksgiving 1983, and I said, I got invited to a Thanksgiving dinner, and I want to impress this girl, and I want to make your oyster dressing. Can you tell me how to make it? Of course, it made her day, and she's like, oh, honey, of course I can. The trick to the oyster dressing, though, and the concoction that I use, if you want it spicy, then you use your ground beef, and you're going to add sausage, breakfast sausage. You either use plain Jimmy Dean if you're a Yankee and you can't and you don't like spicy food that tastes good, you use the plain Jimmy Dean. If you're not, then you use the hot Jimmy Dean. And you use a 50-50 combo. It's 50% ground beef, 50% Jimmy Dean. And you're actually going to, first thing you're going to do is brown those two things in the proper quantity, and you're just going to reserve that. You throw it on the side because you're not going to need it until like the next day. And then you make your cornbread, and there's my grandmother always made hers with the Jiffy cornbread mix, and she always added 1 tablespoon of sugar for each box of cornbread. So this is another little trick here. It's how you get a sweet taste into what ostensibly is a spicy dish. And then you make your Cajun Trinity, your celery, your bell pepper, and your onion. You can add garlic. I used roasted garlic as well. And you're going to put it all together. And then for the oyster part, this is where the trick comes in. And if you don't do this, folks, if you try this at home, and then Emerald Lagasse or Alton Brown or whoever doesn't tell you to do this, then don't ever use that recipe again. Use mine. You have to poach the oysters. If you don't poach the oysters, you get a slimy, hot mess, and everyone's going to hate you. Disgusting. They're going to kick you out at Thanksgiving dinner and never invite you back. You have to have Swallow will probably tell you, no, you got to have raw oysters. No, you don't want raw oysters in the dressing. It is absolutely vile. First of all, it stinks. You open it up, people go, oh, dude, what is back beast? They'll be going back. It's that bad. You have to have, and you have to poach. The secret is you have to poach the oysters. If you poach the oysters, then they're kind of cooked and they're kind of chewy, and then you chop them up with a cleaver really fine, like little tiny, like you had chopped garlic, basically, something like that. And then you add it into, and then you reserve the oyster juice, and then you add it in 1 teaspoon or so at a time, and mix until you just want people to know that there's oyster in it. There's the rest of the if you ever watch the NFL on Fox, and I know people don't watch the NFL anymore, but if you did, and you watch a Thanksgiving game and it's in New Orleans, and we did have one 2 years ago, there's a restaurant, there's a catering place on Franklin Avenue. They make turduckens, and it's famous for their turduckens. And they bring Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma, whoever's calling the game, they bring the whole crew a turducken, and they get like $1.5 million worth of free TV ads. They are the one restaurant in New Orleans that makes an actual authentic oyster dressing. They're famous for it. Before they made the turduckens, they were famous for the oyster dressing. So that is my contribution. If you're going to make a dressing, make an oyster. Or you can do the beef like Resnick's mother does. So some people just make a beef one. But does she use bread or does she use cornbread?
She uses bread.
Okay. Which is
usually
more
her
like
leftover
stovetop
from the year.
stuffing.
That's good.
Yeah, it's leftover bread. It's just cut up and then roasted.
Now, what is this you just put in the chat room, Maggie? Is that a turducken?
That's a freaking turducken.
Yeah, that is good. All right, Jacqueline, what else what other uniquenesses do we have here besides you slaughtering the back and crushing the turkey and
Nobody's mentioned the gravy. I mean, come on.
Oh,
you gotta
can't
have
forget
giblet gravy.
I didn't mention the gravy
So many
because
people give up on gravy.
you said giblet gravy, and I went,
Oh,
liver,
yes.
liver, no.
Well, it's cut up in little tiny pieces so you can't tell.
I could smell it.
No, he
Oh.
acts like he can smell it. He can't smell
You
it.
just
He
don't
just
tell
thinks
him that
it's
it's in there.
Oh, dude, I will smell. She's full of it.
Bull
She's
crap.
absolutely full of it.
Bull
If
You
you
got steel
put
trap
if you put a thimble of chicken liver and ruin that giblet, that gravy, I'm gonna.
That is
I can
because
smell it from
your-
across the
your
street. I
mother-
can smell
Your
it.
mother ruined you.
Yeah, I do make both. So that way you can pick and choose. But yeah. And
Pander.
the secret ingredient is
gravy.
the curry. You got to add the curry. That's what gives you that. That's what gives that perfect turkey gravy
Oh,
flavor.
Carrie, I'm out.
We must add the curry into the gravy, please. On
way
this
too
side, we had the
Sunday for me.
Indian gravy. On this side, we had the crappy gravy with the liver in it. Or so you get to choose.
Do I have to paint the little red dot in my forehead?
If I'm coming to you and Steve's house for Thanksgiving, I'm bringing my own damn gravy. I'll bring a can of Chef Boy of French's brown gravy in a can.
It sounds like you wouldn't need directions. You just
Yeah.
tell your way there with the giblet.
Maggie, how do we make gravy?
I
You
also
just
have
make
a
it with
unique. I have a unique sweet potato recipe.
There it is, the Heinz turkey gravy right there. Man, you see, leave it to Jeff Johnson, who doesn't cook anything. Jeff's got all this figured out. He goes, man, I got my stovetop stuffing. I got my Heinz home-style turkey gravy.
He doesn't have to worry about lumps in the gravy that way.
So usually I take the turkey drippings and I use like a little white roux with that and make the gravy from scratch. I don't
Like a
use-
fine Southern woman would.
Exactly. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Anybody that makes gravy with anything other than a roux should be embarrassed. They should just take themselves up somewhere else and hide.
All right, at the Beeman household, what else are we doing besides smashing the turkey and getting it on one side of the smoker and getting 185 on one end and 165 on the other?
So we do garlic mashed potatoes because I love garlic mashed potatoes.
I like that.
Kate does this sweet potato. It's not in whole, like she mashes it up, and it's like a hot pumpkin pie. That's the best way to describe it. It is absolutely delicious. We also do roasted green beans with garlic and onions and ham, smoked ham that we get from our hog, which is quite delicious. And usually corn and whatever else we throw in there. She'll usually make a pumpkin cheesecake or a peanut butter cheesecake with ganache all over it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Now, Scott Resnick, you're the pit master because you have that beautiful smoking rig. Do you do your turkey bird like that? Do you go for the 185, 165? And if you do, how do you do it?
So, fun story. I made a smoked turkey one year.
Okay.
And my sister poo-pooed it because it wasn't traditional enough. It has to be roasted, and it has to have the stuffing with it. But no, it. So I only did a chicken breast the 1 year, and I did 165 on that, and it was fine. Then I tried a roasted smoked turkey again, and I shanked it. I didn't watch the fire enough, and it got dirty smoke on it.
You shanked it.
Pretty bad. So we ate it anyway, but I think that thing was preserved forever. It would have lasted 1,000 years, I think, with how much dirty smoke was on that thing.
Okay, Jeff Schaefer.
But
Let's.
I know what Joe's saying. The dark meat will take a lot more heat, so you can run it up to 185.
It will. No, it does. It's got blood in it
breast
too.
meat is really all you worry about, and wherever the dark meat is, that's where it is.
Yeah, I always stick that dark meat towards what I'm going to assume is going to be the hottest part of the pit. And
Yeah, you got to know where the
pit's
weather
slightly
is on your
different.
smoker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try an actual turkey, and I'm gonna try to smash the back down like you're describing there, so that it doesn't have the cavity in it. Because I've actually never tried it, I'm wondering now how differently that would be if you tried. No, you couldn't fry it because you need the oil to get in the cavity. So you couldn't do that if you fried. You wouldn't want to do that. All right, let's talk. Let's talk some of the other things that go into a perfect Thanksgiving dinner. What about the breads?
Homemade rolls.
The homemade rolls.
Yep.
Homemade sourdough rolls. Mmm. Dipped in that gravy. Oh, Lord. Now you're talking like eating high on a hog.
You talking my language.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a.
See, now it's a Schaefer family tradition here. We got a Schaefer family tradition where we do black bottom rolls every year.
What's
What is that?
burned?
Burn
You eat burnt bread?
No.
without fail.
That's how my mom does it.
So my family has done big Thanksgivings from when I was a kid up until I was in my early 20s. We get all the cousins together and everything, and without fail, every single year the burnt rolls would come out with. It happened every year. No one ever tried to do it. It just happened every single year, and it was just, became a tradition by default.
So you burned it one year, went, hey, let's start a tradition.
If that happened
Or you burned it 2 years in a row and went,
over.
oh, yeah, let him go, he's rolling.
Over. No.
It just kept happening.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, who's in the burnt bottom roll competition this year? The black bottom roll. I love Maggie's mother makes yeast rolls.
Yes.
Which all rolls have yeast in them, but it's like it's the way that they're made that they don't have the consistency of a biscuit. Like you could eat one biscuit, right, and you'd be full.
It's like if you ever went to a Western
But you could eat
sizzling.
6 of these things, and you'd be like, just one more.
Back in the day, a Western sizzling. You know what I'm talking about? Those old school yeast rolls. That's what my mama makes.
Is that what they were at Western Sisters? They were yeast
Yes,
rolls.
they were yeast rolls. And my nephew will eat 12 by himself. So she makes a 3-time batch just so he can have like 12 by himself every year.
It's a true story. The kid actually, people, they're going to sit down at the table. It's like before Addison gets there, you have to get your own. If you don't get a roll,
You're done.
yeah, and he won't eat much anything else. Well, a piece of a dark meat, a spoon of mashed potatoes, but a plate piled high with yeast rolls. And
My grandmother used to make a loaf of Irish soda bread. That was our family tradition when Grandma was alive.
Okay,
but unfortunately, go ahead, Mike.
well, we have someone. We have Zeke who's throwing a smackdown. He's saying that's not blood on the dark meat. It's myoglobin or myoglobin. What's the difference between myoglobin and hemoglobin?
Myoglobin.
What's the difference between myoglobin? Nobody likes to correct it, correctorson. What's the difference between myoglobin and
Hemoglobin is in the blood. Myoglobin is in the muscle.
So then when I don't cook my dark meat all the way and I cut into it and blood floods my plate,
It's not
not blood.
myoglobin.
That's not blood.
No. Nope.
I'm going to willy.
It's myoglobin. It's in the
Myoglobin
muscle.
red?
Yeah, it's red.
Really?
They claim that's what happens
Oh,
when you
it's
come out of a steak too, Mike. If you cook a medium steak, like a human should eat a steak.
That's steak juice.
So a rare
I
steak.
love steak beverage.
Well, you do hang a cow for 6 or 7 days. You do hang a cow for 6 or 7 days to get the blood out of it.
I thought that was the
Walk mine
age to
across
meat.
the grill, eat what I want, and ride the rest.
No,
home.
that's for aging.
It's also to drain the. I know a butcher, and I know a little thing about meat. It's also for the. Okay, you can't if you butchered a cow today. If we went out there right now and we butchered a cow, you would not be cutting a steak off of it today. You're gonna hang it.
No.
You're gonna hang
It
it.
needs to age.
It needs to hang.
Yeah, about 50 days is about right.
You're gonna
But
wind
the
up.
blood isn't draining out of it the entire time. You get the blood out initially, and after that, that's it. You're not going to get any more out.
Right. So in red meat, there's no actually red in the red meat. It's an illusion.
No, no, that's myoglobin.
It's a Kantian illusion. So there's no actual. So the cow's red meat is not actually red because it never had blood running through it. It's red because it had myoglobin. Okay. So next time I go to a steakhouse, I want my myoglobin red.
This is almost like a Free Farm Friday.
Yes. And I don't want any hemoglobin. If you give me any hemoglobin, I'm suing. So I just want my myoglobin, and I want it red. If it turns pink, then I'm sending it back.
If it ain't bleeding, it ain't bleeding.
Well, it's not bleeding.
Fair.
No, it's not blood. Blood stays in the veins and arteries.
I like the red juice.
Thanksgiving cocktails, BK in Michigan says. Well, BK, I don't know of any cocktails that have myoglobin in them, so I only know of cocktails that have bourbon in them. And making an old-fashioned, which I will tell you how to make a old-fashioned, because I just made some Sunday. You need the Peychaud's bitters. Those are the ones that you should be able to get at any decent liquor store. Peychaud's, P-E-Y-C-H-A-U-D, Peychaud's bitters. You can use Angostura, or I think it's Angostura. They're made in South America. Peychaud's actually made in France. So you need bitters, you need an orange, you need real cherries. There's crap cherries that they soak in corn syrup that you buy at the maraschinos. I don't even know there's anything organic in that. But you can buy from Woodford Reserve, you actually can buy real maraschino cherries, and they're not red. They're not candy apple red. They are purple, crimson, almost like bricks.
Oh, no myoglobin.
That's right. See, the fake cherries have myoglobin in them. The real cherries have no myoglobin. It got cooked.
Myoglobin is exactly.
Myoglobin, and all the blood drained out of the cherry too. There's no blood in it, and it's aged. So, so you need simple syrup. I make simple syrup with turbinado sugar. I don't use refined sugar for anything anymore. So, and simple syrup is it's 2 part water, 1 part sugar. And you're just going to melt it. It's all you need. And then for your old fashioned, you take your real maraschino cherries, not myoglobin red, Alabama crimson tide purple. And you put 3 or 4 of them in the bottom. You take you need a slice of orange or satsuma, tangerine if you can't get anything else. And then you just dash your bitters in there. And then some simple syrup, and then you take what's called a muddler. It looks like a little baseball bat, Bert Starr. And you take your muddler, and you just smash all that up, like Jacqueline smashes the back of her turkey. And when all that is nice and muddled and combined, you add your bourbon. And then a good old fashioned. A good old fashioned is served over cracked ice, never cubes. So you're going to crack your ice, and you're going to shake it. And then you're going to pour it out, and then it's going to be nice and chilled, and then you can add some ice to it if you want. But like a good Sazerac, you don't want any ice in it because it just dilutes the bourbon. And then you garnish it with an orange on the rim and a cherry if you can find it. So an old-fashioned is a perfect cocktail for any occasion, including Thanksgiving. So there you go. There you go, BK. How's that?
A good old fashioned is getting harder and harder to find. I order them all the time, and they bring some nasty old fashions to me.
Well, dude, they don't know that because they don't have mixologists anymore. They don't have trained bartenders by the International Bartenders Institute. They don't take the class. They don't take the school. There's a book, the Bartender's Bible. Simple. And most of the stuff is pretty natural. Like it's almost impossible to get a decent mint julep now. You got to make it on your own. There's so many drinks. I don't know, Resnick. You're a bourbon guy. Do you do anything? Do you do the old fashioned?
I'm not a bourbon guy, but I do like.
Well, I thought you were. Okay, what are you?
No, I'm a immature college kid drinking beer.
Oh, there's no cocktail to that.
Love it.
And by the way, a red ale
I like
has
gin and tonic,
a red ale, an American red ale has myoglobin in it. 100%.
Hey, red number 6 has myoglobin in it.
Yes,
too.
it does. Red number 6
use
is
that
all
in everything.
myoglobin.
No, it's not. It's bug juice.
Whatever. It tastes awesome. I put it on everything.
Yes.
And
It's
I mix it in a
extracted from
galvanized
beetles.
pan.
Maggie.
Schaefer threw a gauntlet down.
What?
Raisins and stuffing.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
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 So good.
DQ'd.
So good.
DQ'd.
Raisins are
You're
wrong
out.
unless you're trying to clean yourself out.
So, Candace, would you say a good Thanksgiving beer would be a Oktoberfest?
I would say yes to the Oktoberfest.
Not the Sam Adams
It would be good,
Oktoberfest.
but
No.
not Sam Adams.
Oh,
That
it's
is not-
disgusting.
It tastes like pumpkin. It's not. It's no bueno.
Yeah.
But yes,
Sam
the
Adams beer anymore is
Oktoberfest.
horrible.
Yes, good.
Oh.
Any
If you
dunk
make
would
it
be
at
good
home.
too.
We're going to lose the radio feed in 20 seconds if you don't go save it. Well, the program crashed on me during the timeout. I tried to save it. It may be a little late. You may have to click over to YouTube.
That's it, right? Did I do it?
Well, most people would say, if Dan Mundy was here, he would say that a Thanksgiving drink is an eggnog.
Yeah.
Too early
Nope.
for eggnog.
Nope.
Too
Nope.
early.
I do eggnog.
First,
but
I
it's
never
early.
had one with rum in it, so you know.
Some apple cider rum, like a little bit of cinnamon.
Oh yes, hot apple cider,
Hot
definitely.
apple cider.
Now, this is a
Rum,
real
cinnamon.
question. This is a real question because it's hard to actually get real apple cider that's actually made with real apples. What you usually get is some crap from concentrate that says it's apple cider, and it really isn't. I've only had real apple cider like once in my whole life, and it was because I was at a place where they had apple trees, and it was.
The next time you come, Mike, we'll get you all the.
I think that's where I had it. Is at your
I
place?
think it was. That's right. Kate bought some from the local place.
She
Yep.
did. I think
It
that's
was
the.
freaking delicious.
It was. I think
Yes.
it's the only time I actually had real apple cider ready. Nothing but the best.
It has probiotics in it too. It's great for your guts.
good for your gut.
So that is that's a really look in Michigan. Most people don't know this. Michigan is a huge agriculture state. You think because it's so far north, they have massive agriculture, and they have like apple orchards everywhere. You're driving through the hinterlands of Michigan, and there are apple orchards there. So, Chicken Lady has said apple cider there is very common. That's great, and apple cider served just a little bit of warm. I still like the eggnog. I know people don't like the eggnog. But if you make the George Washington's eggnog recipe,
Christmas drink, Mike.
George Washington's eggnog recipe is pretty good. And that's what Mitter Monday makes every year.
It tastes. It smells gross.
What? It does not. It smells like it smells
honey,
like milk.
It smells like curdled milk. It smells disgusting. I mean, I know
You just
love
don't.
it.
You have to add extra rum. That's
Well,
what it is. You
I
just have
haven't
to add
tried
lots
that
of rum.
recipe. You're saying I shouldn't?
Even with extra rum, it still smells curdled and disgusting. Like you should throw it down the drain and call it a day.
Elroy says a vodka and cranberry juice is a good Thanksgiving cocktail. Note the cranberry. Dude, I love cranberry. You know, here's a question for you, Elroy, and for anyone else in the stadium or that's watching this. Has anyone ever actually had, like Joe and I were just talking about real apple cider, has anyone ever actually had real, like, from the source, cranberry juice? You know, because I used to make this cranberry cocktail that Maggie told me to stop making because I was the only one that ate it. The kids never ate it. I was the only one that ate it. And you would buy a bag of actual real cranberries, and you just boil them until they start the skins start falling off. You filter it and you strain it. You pull the skins out, and then you put the sludge back into the pot, and then you just basically add your sugar, and then you just need some pectin to turn it into a gel, and then I would throw a little orange juice into it. I thought it was.
Yeah, I use orange zest.
Yeah. Well, zest of any citrus is just going to kick the same taste up a notch. Plus, it has the oil in it from the actual. Some people don't. If they see the zest though, and if they get a little piece of zest, they go, ooh, it's got rinds in it. It's not rind, it's zest. It's not rind, it's zest. You cretin.
My mother used to torture us with it.
Yes, Maggie.
No, I was just going to say the cranberry sauce that you made was great. It's just that our kids wouldn't even touch it. So it was pointless to spend 3 hours doing that because they wouldn't eat it.
It doesn't take that long.
No, it doesn't. It took a little while. It wasn't 3 hours. She's exaggerating.
Oh, Mike Church, exaggeration. No, it took a couple of hours.
However long it took, it was worth the effort. So who is this? Who is this little one?
Oh.
That would be baby Madeline. She's screaming a little bit.
Madeline!
See her red hair? She's my second redhead.
She looks. Hang on. People want to see Madeline. Hang on.
She wants to see. Hey, Baba. Say hi.
There.
Say hi.
Oh, that is a beaming. There is a beaming, Clark.
Yeah, they all look alike. I stamp them, as Kate says.
You
like
stamp them.
She's like, let me go, dude.
All right, she sees mommy. She's like, mommy, get me away from these strange people.
Okay, we're going to wrap up our Thanksgiving extravaganza here. I played my favorite commercial. I had another one, though. See, okay, before we leave, you have to hear this. This is a 1954 television commercial. See if you can figure out what it's for.
What are you doing here? You ought to be outside with the rest of the kids.
This is where Thanksgiving really begins, isn't it, Edgar?
Well, now, if you're referring to the aroma of roast turkey, I concur.
No, Ray, I was talking about the kitchen. It looks like a real center of hospitality.
Did you say hospitality?
Uh-huh.
That's one thing we're always prepared for around here. Help yourself to it.
Cocaine!
Be a good time for you and your guests to have Coca-Cola, too.
Yes, and Coca-Cola is so delicious, so refreshing, so tempting to any guest when you bring out those familiar bottles with tiny beads of moisture running down their frosty sides, assuring you that the Coke inside is really ice cold. And the good, the gracious, the friendly homes of America are always prepared for hospitality, not only on Thanksgiving Day, but every day all the year around, no matter who comes to call or who happens to drop in. And one of the easiest, simplest, and surest ways in the world to be prepared for hospitality
These
is to have plenty
asshats
of Coca-Cola in your refrigerator, ice cold and ready to serve all the time. It's a wonderful way to say to folks, so glad you came. Welcome anytime.
Well, it'd be a wonderful way to say it if the creeps at YouTube wouldn't screw the video up and do what they just did to it. So. So in any event, we're gonna we'll wrap this up. I am hearing an echo from Hades. I mean, it is the shredder echo from Jim Mosier's effects rack. It's so loud. In any event, have a we'll wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving. I mean, it's not till next week. So you have a week to get ready to make your oyster dressing, to figure out how to smash the back of the turkey, to figure out what to do with the myoglobin, to tell Aunt Petunia, no, that's not blood. You're not going to get salmonella poisoning. It's myoglobin. And it's just red color. It looks like blood. No, you can guzzle it. No, it doesn't have any salmonella, Auntie. No, you can just sip it like it's tea. It's good. It's good for you. It just looks like blood and like you're a cannibal. It's fine. It's okay. So we learned a lot tonight about myoglobins and hemoglobins and smashing the backs and bones of turkeys and different cooking temperatures for different parts of the meat and all that stuff. And we never really got into potatoes. Surprising that potatoes aren't really like a big deal. Stuffing seems to be the preference for turkeys, not potatoes.
I love potatoes.
Well, potatoes are kind of easy.
Well,
I said garlic mashed potatoes.
Well, that's right. You did say garlic mashed potatoes. We did have one mention of the potato. If we're going to do a potato, and there's another that we have done at the church household, and that's like homemade, real baked macaroni, like the Italian nonas make it. Schaefer's nodding his head. Have you had it?
I make it. I mean, I make my own baked mac and cheese.
Right, I'm talking about not the little elbows, the big
like penne.
The big penne. My grandmother used to make it with 5 cheeses, 5, and she made a sauce and everything with the roux, like you were talking about it earlier, Schaefer. You got to make a blonde roux. The trick to the baked macaroni is to get the consistency right inside, but then to get that burnt cheese glaze on top, so that it's just perfect, right? Not like the black bottom biscuit. You don't want it that dark. But that was another one that we didn't get into. But yeah, you could smoke all those cheeses. Absolutely, you can use smoked Gouda and all that stuff. And then a lot of people, especially here in South Louisiana, they don't even use turkeys. They eat ducks. You have duck farms. You have backwater foie gras. Our friend Ross McKnight's not 10 miles from here. You could get a duck. Now, it's a little bit more expensive than a turkey. It's certainly wild raised and has a completely indifferent, just totally different texture. By the way, the wild duck is all myoglobin. It's all dark meat. The whole duck is dark.
Delicious.
It is. And then you cook if you take a backwater foie gras duck, because we've done it, and you cook that thing at a low temperature, 175, 200, something like that, for 3 or 4 hours, you will get literally a container this large of duck fat, confit. And you can use, boy, you talk about something great to cook with. It's worth the price of the duck just to get the confit, which you can put in your refrigerator, and if you put a lid on it, it'll pretty much stay for like a year. And you can just use a spoon at a time and make in a roux, a sauce. You have no idea how powerfully potent and unbelievably delicious duck fat is. People like talking about, I like to fry stuff in lard. Try duck fat. Now, I don't know if you can fry it in 100% duck fat, because I've never done a temperature test on it to see where it starts to break down. But I can tell you, if you add it into any other fat, it's so extraordinary. It's amazing. So
take a scoop of that and put it in your mashed potatoes when you're making it.
Absolutely. Use it like butter. Just pretend it's butter at that point. Duck is to die for. And as I said, you can make a roux. If you're like a Schaefer, you're making a blonde roux for your mac and cheese. Now, depending on where you got your duck, you may want to sample that, make sure that if somebody shot it, it might be a little gamey. But if it was processed on a farm like Ross's, it's probably not. And you're just going to get duck deliciousness and confit. It's a real treat. We did it one Thanksgiving. We did it, and we used that duck fat for like a year. You just keep cooking with it. So, hope you all of you are going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We're going to put all the recipes that were discussed here on the program in the CrusadeChannel.com post of the podcast, and I'll link to the video there as well, or just embed it in the page. So if you had a recipe and you discussed it and you have it written down, like I have mine written down, I think Schaefer has his written down, pass it along to either me or Maggie, and we'll include it in the show notes for the actual posting of the page and the audio and the video. We will thank you all for being here, for Jacqueline and Scott and Jeff and Joe and all of you in the Crusader Stadium chat room. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to leave you, we'll leave you out with a little Leo Sayer here in long, tall glasses. We'll get this up as a podcast. I'll make sure that it gets up tomorrow morning. Thanks for another great episode of Thursday Night Throwdown here on the Crusade channel. We'll see you tomorrow for Free Phone Friday. God bless you and Mary keep you.
I was traveling down the road, feeling hungry and cold. I saw a sign saying food and drinks for everyone. So naturally I thought I would take me a look inside. I saw so much